Hello, beautiful beings. Welcome to Y'all Asked For This. Or enough people in my life have been like, put your yapping somewhere where it can stay so they can go back and watch it. If you are new to me, hey, hello, my name is Jessie. I'm just a person who loves people so much and hopes that the things that I ponder out loud and just kind of put out there give you a little bit more love and compassion for yourself so that hopefully you can also extend that to other people as well. Today is going to be just a little because I saw a post that I need to process out loud with you. So let's talk about it. So the post that I saw was something along the lines of how people want to live in this way of don't treat people how you don't want to be treated. But the problem with humanity is that we treat ourselves like shit. And it just goes back to the concept and just the knowing that any external work that needs to be done, any external change that we need to see has to start within, because we treat ourselves like shit. People are using guilt and shame and anger to motivate them to do things. Their own personal guilt and shame and anger to motivate themselves. So what's that going to look like when you put it on somebody else? You're guilting and shaming and being angry at somebody else. If you can't accept yourself, you're not going to be accepting of other fucking people. It's just all the inner work. If you're sitting there in this prideful stance, then all you're doing is viewing other people as being in this prideful stance, which then just makes you feel like they're trying to knock you down a peg when that may or may not be true. It just may or not be true. It's your own inner world being reflected back. And collectively right now, we are in this upheaval where, again, that counterforce starts to happen. I said this to somebody throughout the election that's happening. It's just when one side sits there and says something so fucking extreme, the only option for the other side is to do something, say something, push in a way that is just as extreme, because just like your body wants to be in a homeostasis, balanced place, externally is the exact fucking same. So if something is swinging so hard one way, it's gotta have the opposite so that there's this neutral ground, but it makes this counterforce that's happening even in a state of peace. If there are just peaceful people rolling around, it's gonna piss off a lot of people because they don't have that. And how dare you have peace? So they have to push their anger out because that's all they can feel. And now you're frustrating them at your peaceful state. It's the swing of things. And I'm not saying don't be peaceful. I'm just noting that this is why we see things in these heightened fucking states right now, is because people don't like themselves. They're so unhappy with their situation. And they think that it's a powerful move to just put it on other people. This is an illusion of power. This isn't true power. True power is being I can do something about this in a neutral state. It's a state of acceptance and being this is a step that I'm going to be taking to move forward. Power is not force. I still haven't started reading that book yet by Dr. David Hawkins, but man, is it in my fucking... It's coming, and we're going to talk a lot about it because it's not the same. There's this illusion of energy that gets thrown in there on certain levels of that force plane, and we're taught that this is powerful because you feel powerful. You're I got this surge of energy, this is what it's supposed to feel like, but it's is it? If that's what it's supposed to feel like, what happens when it's gone? Then you don't fucking feel powerful anymore, and then you're stuck. Again, just you feel powerless and then you want to fight back against it. So you're constantly looking for things to externally make yourself feel, as opposed to just being you know what? I'm going to be in my little neutral state and just let things kind of come and go and be what they are. And that's really the change. It's just really the change. People are so miserable in their relationships or have had such terrible relationships that they just feel they want to make somebody else feel that way too. Again, it's the fake power. You're causing something sure, but is that power? Is that power? As I say that, I guess it again, it's an illusion. Control is an illusion of power. Because that's all that is. It's just controlling somebody else's state because you can't control yourself. bitch. It's because you can't control yourself, so you are trying to control something outside of you, when if you stop trying to control yourself, and I'm not saying like go get reckless and, you know, do crazy ass shit, but like if you stop trying to control your emotions and your feelings and just kind of like sit with them and let yourself be unattached to what it is, kind of take yourself in a removed state. Like, see it as if your best friend is telling you about a situation and you are just like empathizing with them. Treat yourself like that. Being like, hey, this situation happened and fuck, that sucks. But you know what? It's not going to consume my entire body. I'm going to sit there and I'm going to look at it and I'm going to tell myself that I should be mad right now, that it's okay. But me being mad doesn't mean I have to put somebody else down. Me being mad doesn't mean that I have to go and be like fucking reckless and controlling of other people because this is about me. This is my reality. That's not their reality. That's like a whole other thing. We see our realities like from our experiences. Like, I was a professional dancer for like 8 years and I've moved from the state that I was in doing that. And the way that people are like, it's so cool to have been a professional dancer. Like, you forget how awesome things can be and how different things can be viewed because I was so immersed in the entertainment life. Like, it was normal. But outside of that bubble, it's not normal. So, like, my reality is different from, like, how other people's reality and perception of it is. And now, like, seeing that, you kind of get to, like, have the wisdom of the fact that people haven't experienced things. It's almost like when you are trying to teach a child that something is hot and you're over here like, I fucking told you it was hot and you touched the stove anyway. Like, why would you do that? Well, of course they did it. They don't have a frame of reference for what hot is until they touch the stove. It's like, if something is just in a state of concept, that's all that it is. Like, the physical, actionable reality of it has to catch up for it to become like a wisdom thing, for it to become like a real known thing. I can sit here and say like, going off into a war, not good, but I don't fucking know. Like, I have that perception. You know, we see things in like movies. You could probably like VR being in a war and some shit right now, but the physical aspect of it, of actually being there and surrounded by it and like immersed in it, totally different than just like what you know. So it's a lot of that. And just, yeah, that post about being like, you know, we just don't want, don't do things that you don't want done to yourself, but we are doing it to ourselves. The work starts with you. It fucking starts with you. And as I said, like, the thing is that as you're doing the work, like, things are gonna surface, but it's so it can be worked on and cared for and loved. Like, when I say you and your piece is gonna piss some people off, I'm not saying downplay your piece, but be so peaceful and so unmovable that their stuff is eventually gonna tip. There's only so much you can take. It's the same thing as like when you hit a bottom point. There's nothing you can do but change. And if you're staying in a peaceful state, like as everything is exploding, there's nothing that it can do but change into the opposite side of what it's been. But it all starts with you loving yourself, accepting yourself, releasing yourself of any shame and guilt. And I'm not saying bypass for like bad things that you've done. That's not the same thing as letting things go, but processing it and allowing it to be, and knowing and staying true in yourself that like your reality is your reality. And some people they really just don't know. They just really, it's a concept. It's a concept that they can't understand because they've never fucking been there. Thanks for letting me process out loud. I hope this is like a little just insightful and mind, I don't know, processingly for you too. Those aren't words, but you know what I mean. I hope that this kind of gives you something to ponder because it's just, yeah. I just want people to love themselves. I just want people to love themselves so much. And don't get me wrong, like I have my own things. I'm constantly like seeing things within myself as well. Recently, days ago, I was like, I need to work on that one. But the awareness is there, and being able to start taking the steps is the process. And we just have to start embracing the process instead of being like, this is the fixed outcome that I want. Power. Power isn't in wanting power. Anyway, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, weekend, whatever you're watching this. Thank you for making it to the end, and again, for letting me process my stuff. As always, please just take what resonates and leave the rest, and hopefully I will see you in the next one. Okay, bye!